album is called Higher Learning. You will learn to be a better person after this album comes out. I'm dead serious. Nah, the album is dope, man. We've been working on it. Comes out in a couple of months, God willing. We just trying to put the last pieces of the puzzle together and put out a dope album, man. It's gonna be seriously dope. I'm so confident in this record. I think it's gonna be my best one. Well, how I ended up with Exist was I've always been pretty cool with Sean and T Black ever since Deuce and Manny signed there, you know, when they first signed there. And we just maintained the relationship, continued to build, and you know, through their ups and downs as a company, I kind of got to see the way they walked that out behind closed doors, and we just continued to build a dope relationship. And you know, when it was time to sign, it was, you know, to me at the time, it was a no-brainer. You know what I mean? It was like, okay, you know what I mean? They changed certain things with the company, the infrastructure changed a little bit, and so I was with it. I haven't taken a leadership position on the label or anything like that, but you know, when I see up-and-coming artists, period, like, I always want to pour in, right? Because I felt like when I was in the beginning, we didn't have the artists to really pour into us, you know what I mean? Like, you know, we could look at them from a distance and be like, oh man, I respect that. Yo, I love what they're bringing to the table. But, you know, we didn't really have people that really grabbed us and really poured in. Like, well, at least I didn't, not much. And so, yeah, man, so I want to be that to other artists. Like, I've been down the road that they're getting ready to travel. And so, like, man, I just be wanting to link arms with these younger cats and, you know, just love on them and, you know, teach them how to avoid certain mistakes that, you know, that I didn't avoid, you know what I mean? Like, you know, for example, when Social Club was first kind of coming out, you know, with their music, like, I was blessed to be able to have a good relationship with them, and I'm kind of looking at them like, man, I remember feeling like this. I remember, you know, like, having these thoughts and having these situations, and to be able to come alongside them and, man, just, you know, see how much they've grown and see them doing their thing, like, that's beautiful to me. And so, like, I want to see these artists be able to flourish and do great things, you know what I mean? But I think it's needed to have like a older voice come in and be like, ah, well, you know what I mean, you might not want to do this, you might want to do this, or like, yo, I'm just here if you need to talk, you know what I mean? So like, having that dialogue is mad important. So like, I assume that responsibility as much as I can.
You know what mistakes did you make that you're like guiding other artists away from?
Man, I think the major mistake I made was allowing my service or allowing my music to be my God. I think that it was kind of a subtle thing, you know what I mean? Like, it gradually happened. It didn't, like, you know, well, I just contradicted myself, but anyway, it gradually happened. It wasn't like, oh, you know, boom, this just happened like that, but it was like, you know, I started to love that and put more weight on the music than I did everything else in my life. And so I allowed music to have a certain throne in my heart that it shouldn't have had. And that was the biggest mistake, was putting music on the throne that I should have kept the Lord on. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, and I paid for it dearly. You know what I mean? In some ways, I think I still am paying for it. You know what I mean? Like, I think that, you know, God allows certain levels of success to different people for different reasons. And I feel like, you know, there's reasons why I probably haven't achieved certain things that I desired in my heart. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Like, it could have put music back on that pedestal for me. You know what I mean? So, man, I do what the Lord allows me to do, and I keep it moving, man. Like, one thing I recognize is God is to be first, and nothing else takes that place. You know what I mean? So I learned that the hard way.